How's it going, everybody? Today we're coming out with another Magic Gathering deck video. Today we're going to be discussing a deck that I kind of put together to kind of, play something a little bit slightly different, but still playing that control aspect. Today we're going to be diving into a Dimir control deck. Pretty much the deck plays blue-black spells. It's control-y in the sense that it kind of targets your opponent's hand while also containing the battlefield, and it has a little bit of offensiveness to kind of like then attack your opponent's life. Overall, the deck is pretty interesting. From what I played, it kind of goes one of two ways depending on how the speed of the deck you're playing against is. It's pretty average deck. I would say the win rate is probably somewhere around 50-ish%. So the overall win rate is pretty decent for a deck. But guys, let's just dive right into the deck and figure out what this is all about. All right, so here is the deck. Pretty much it's pretty straightforward. It plays a lot of cards that are pretty like hit your opponent kind of, and then you kind of eventually play your bigger creatures as you kind of get that board control. So pretty much we start off with one Dreadhorde Invasion. This kind of gets our threat. It also does, we're only playing one of, because if we playing against a little bit of a faster deck, this is something we don't want to draw into. This is this would be a good win condition if you're playing against a slower deck that's also maybe another control deck or maybe another late to mid game deck. Then you got Discovery and Dispersal. This one's pretty good because you can always get the early draw card, or you can also later in game you can play the Dispersal, which pretty much then bounces the highest card permanent back to their opponent's hand, and then they have to discard a card. So a pretty good bounce back. There's a card that we do play that kind of like makes this actually pretty decent. That we play a copy of it. We'll kind of get to that as we get a little bit further in the deck. Then you got Thought Erasure, just another, let's look at our opponent's hand, make him discard a non-land card from it, and then we surveil, so we can kind of figure out if we want to keep a card on top or bottom. Very good, very early if you want to kind of understand what your opponent's playing, so you know how to play around it. Tyrant Scorn, another quick kill for low mana creatures, which is good against a lot of aggro decks, or even like decks that are trying to use like pump creatures or tap creatures to pump lands to help ramp up. Narset, if our opponent's draw more than one card a turn, we kind of want to slow that down, so anything that's going to draw more than one card, this card's good, and then we can kind of look for an answer in case they play something we need to know how to react to. Then we got Cry of Carnarium. This is a pretty good card. Pretty much it gives all our opponent's aggro creatures -2/-2 until end turn. Exile creature cards in all graveyards that were put there from the battlefield this turn. If a creature we die this turn, exile it instead. So pretty much we exile anything that's on the board, and we get -2/-2 to everything on the board, and then on top of it we can also go ahead and if something were to die in response to it dying this turn, also get exiled, so it never goes back to the graveyard, which is also good. Murderous Rider, just a pretty good overall kill spell, and as well as 2-3 lifelink. So if we have Dreadhorde Invasion, this is a good card to get some of our life back if we can attack with it and make some damage to the opponent or opponent's creatures. Chemist Insight, because it's always good to draw more cards, keep the momentum over our tempo over deck going. God-Eternal Kefnet. This is that one card where pretty much you can reveal the first card you draw each turn. As you draw it, whenever you reveal a sorcery or instant card, you can play a copy of it that costs 2 less. As we were saying before, that with Dispersal makes that Dispersal then cost 3, which then we can bounce the highest thing back, make him discard a card, pretty good. Or anything else, like even I don't know if it works with the Murderous Rider, but we can make that Murderous Rider cost 1 less maybe, and then play for 2, and same thing with Carnarium. Or our draw card, we can play our draw card for 2, draw 2 cards for 2 is actually really, really good. So overall, pretty good card, and it's a 4/5 flyer, so pretty strong card that I can't just like target with a burn spell and bounce off the board. Nightfall Predator, flying, death touch, and hexproof for 3 mana, 4 cost, not bad. Then you got Ashiok, which is a good card because pretty much you can create blockers, as well as you can return target permanent back to its opponent's hand, and they can exile a card from their hand. So pretty much if they're low on cards, if we attack their hand pretty good, we can pretty much choose what we want them to exile from their hand. Enter the God-Eternal, just another good direct damage spell, which we can also then use with the God-Eternal Kefnet. Pretty much deal 4 damage to target creature, and you gain 4 life. This way, target player puts the top 4 cards of their library into their graveyard, and then you amass 4. Combine that with Dreadhorde Invasion. This kind of works very well. We can then pump up our Dreadhorde Invasion creature if it's still on the board, or create a new one. So then we play Dreadhorde Invasion and pump that one up. Commence the Endgame, and just another card that can't be countered. Draw 2 cards. We amass X, where X is the number of cards in our hand. Since we're playing a control deck, we'll have probably quite a few cards in our hand, which is pretty good. Then you get Liliana. Whenever a creature we control dies, draw a card, create a 2/2 black zombie creature. We can make it each player sacrifice 2 creatures, and then if we get to 9, we can each opponent chooses a permanent they control and sacrifices the rest. So pretty much we can pretty much wipe out their board if we can get to this ultimate. I don't know if this is the win con, but it is a good win con to have in case we do get there. Thassa is just a good counter, and then we can also kind of look at the top cards of our library and put 2 of them into our hand, the rest of the bottom of our library in any order in case we're looking for something very particular. Mana is pretty straightforward. You got the 2 Castle Vantises to kind of scry through our top of our decks. Got a couple 5 islands, 7 swamps. You got some Dismal Backwaters, you got Temples of the Seats, and you got some Watery Graves just for some little bit of mana fixing in case we run into any mana issues. Pretty much the deck is a balance of black and blue cards, so this seems like a decent balance of both. Little extra swamps because it looks like we play a little bit extra black, but overall the deck is a control deck, so we're not looking to kill our opponent in the first few turns, but kind of stall it out so we can get to the end game and pretty much commence it, as the card says, commence the end game. We're gonna dive into a few games here. I don't know if this video is gonna be as long as our normal ones, but I'll probably get a game or two in depending on how the games go, and we'll kind of go from there. So let's get into that. So we're just gonna dive into some play mode games, just because the last time I hopped into a traditional standard event, we got pretty much owned. We won 1 game and we literally got wiped all other 3 games. So we're gonna do the one of play mode games and just kind of see how it goes. It's the end of the season too, so a lot of people are really grinding ranked with like pretty much decks is just kind of grind those ranks. So it's probably gonna be a lot of red decks and stuff if we were to play ranked. So I think play is just good to see a variety of decks. Sometimes it's very interesting how they pair us with other opponents if they like on what they're playing. Sometimes you get stuff that's very good, and sometimes you get stuff that's like, our opponent's going first. This hand's very good if our opponent's playing very aggressive. We get to see their hand. If they're not a little slower, we can see their hand. And I mean, heck, Tyrant Scorn is a good card to bounce a card back to their opponent's hand, and then we can scry on our first turn too. So plus we're on the draw, so we can draw into some good stuff. All right, looks like they're playing some sort of Simic, which isn't that bad. We just gotta kind of slow down their ramp, but we'll tap this into tap. We'll scry. I think we'll keep this, and then we'll draw it next turn. I think we'll draw into what we need because we can surveil with the thought erasures. We will play in the swamp. We'll thought erasure, kind of see what they're playing. They're playing some sort of. All right, so we got Narset, Elder Sprawl, Kazov, Liliana. All right, so we'll get rid of this because they're playing some sort of blue, white, black deck. I think it's either this because we don't need that. They don't have white mana, so they're actually, they drew a hand that doesn't work. All right, and they gave up. Well, that was a quick game. Maybe we'll play maybe we'll play one more than we originally were gonna play, because I was not expecting them to give up in literally the 3rd turn. And we literally, I was the first person to play a spell, so literally it was land, 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 land. I play a spell, target their hand, give up. Opponent goes first again. Pretty much similar to the last game. Pretty overall good spells. We can look at their hand on turn 2, probably tap this in, and then we will play the island turn 2, Watery Grave turn 3 if we don't draw a land. Now they're playing mono green of some sort, so this may actually be good, so we'll tap that in. I'll keep the island because we want to get to turn 4. We want to make sure we hit turn 4 because. All right. So we're actually gonna keep our mana open. I'm gonna wait till they attack and kind of see what goes on. That's fine because turn 2, yeah, so we'll do this. We'll response, kill that, and then I think I'm gonna kill their 1/1 next turn. I think that's the play because we don't want them to put the 4 counters on it, so we'll do this. Because then the counters become null. So then they don't get that. Now they have to play a card that's bigger. That's I'm not worried about that. I want to see what they have in their hand, see what they're going to play on next turn. Because they're playing some sort of tempo-ish deck. And our opponent gave up. All right. Interesting. we're gonna get rid of their Planeswalker because they have no creature, and that's game 2 already done. Okay, so we're on a 2-0 win streak. That was pretty good. 4 minutes into recording some combat gameplay, so very unexpected. I guess our opponents are keeping hands that are very risky, because that literally was just a hand that had a thing that killed another creature and a couple Planeswalkers and their god. All right, we're going first this time. Yet again, a pretty good hand. Yeah, I mean, we don't have the lands to kind of help this, but we can get to turn 3, and then it's just a matter of getting lands to turn 5. So we keep this. None of our lands come into play tap, so we can't really fix our mana source. Guess our opponent's still looking at their hand, but I think I'm gonna play Island, give them the impression we're playing Island, and then go from there. They mulliganed, it looks like. I think. Yeah. So we'll play Island and say go. They also play Island. Interesting. Okay, so they're drawing. They're trying to dig for something. So maybe a Kraken deck of some sort, or maybe a control deck. Okay, we drew our 4th land, so we'll play that from there. We will look at their hand, see what they got. Looks like they're playing some Azorius Flyers. They don't have a creature. Yeah, we'll do that. Yeah, we'll draw another Ashiok because they have an Azorb. So we're not gonna play a creature on turn 2. So that's the thing. We'll play this, play this. They don't have the mana for well, I don't think our opponent has... Okay, they have white mana. So they got mana for an Absorb. Interesting. I mean, I could do one of two things. I'm going to let them go, I think, here. And then I'm going to wait and see what they do here. Because I'm not going to play my creature because they're just going to get countered. Though, would they want to counter on? That is the question. We'll find out. They're going to pass the turn. We're going to go my turn. I'm going to try to play this. See if they want to burn it. That's fine. That's actually perfect. So if we draw a land here, which is good, we'll draw a land. We'll play Ashiok, and then we'll play 2/3. And why not? We'll take a gander. So our opponent can't draw an extra card. We'll play this. So pretty much just locks our opponent down. Puts them in a weird predicament, actually. All right, they're tapping 1 white, 2 white. Are they gonna play a whatchamacallit? A Teferi, okay. Interesting. They're gonna bounce back my token, I think. That's perfectly fine. They don't draw. I think here the play is now to play this, because if they have a counter, their counter is gonna be probably... That's fine. I kind of forgot that they had the essence thing. We'll just play this then. I could also bounce their Teferi back and make them discard a card. But then they play Teferi again and bounce them, and then they could... I think we play the token. I think the token's the play. Alright, sorceries have flash. I say we attack for 2. See what they do. I guess we'll plus. I'll actually get rid of it. I have another. Oh. That sucks. I thought I could play the Teferi. I thought I saw a Teferi go in there. Yeah. We'll play the enchantment. I can't skip this. Oops. We'll say go. I want to see what they play. They have a land. My turn. I'll draw some cards. Interesting. My turn. To combat, we'll attack. Okay. Dungeon Geist. See, now that's where I probably should have waited. Damage. I didn't draw any lands, which is kind of interesting. Let's try to look at their hand. Do they want us to look at it? It can't be that. So they really don't want us to look at it. Interesting. I could have countered, but I don't think it was worth it. We'll end turn and say go. I can always discard a card and draw a card, which I think I'll do. That card's not going to do me any good, to be quite honest. Actually, this was not going to do me any good either. Oh my goodness, holy Narset. I didn't draw a land either. I think I attack first. They're playing like classic blue-white. And they got quenches and stuff. I think when I go... Will they let this stick? They're gonna scry. Alright, so we know what they have. Or at least we know that they may not have an answer because they're trying to draw into something, which doesn't work. We'll keep. We'll look. Let's take a gander. Come with me, and you'll see. We'll start our Dreadhorde invasion here. All right, sweet. It's a frog. Oh my god, I drew all my Narsets. And no lands. Activate. Meditate and prepare. I feel like I want to play Ashiok. Let's go to combat first. Why not? I think I'm gonna play that next turn. Let's play the Ashiok and see what happens. All right, they don't got a counter. All right, and they give up because I think they knew we have them in like a lockdown, in a way. Because what I could have done next turn is I could have target my own creature with the thing to deal 4 damage, gain 4 life. Target player then puts X amount of cards so we can target them, and then we can amass our zombie 4, and then I'll get the mass on top of it, get it to 6, and then get the bonus effect from Dreadhorde Invasion. So that was a good game. That was only, so far we're only about 13-ish minutes worth of combat, which the games have been going pretty quick. I guess people don't like it when we target their like moves. So it's kind of interesting to be in that situation. This hand is a little bit slower. We go first. We can play this and play tapped. I think this is okay. This is 10 to 1 where we face the red deck, and we got the hand that actually is not good for that. So we're gonna play this tapped, and we'll say go. Ooh, they're playing black. Nice. I actually want to play this tapped and see what happens. I don't need another Narset, so we'll put that there. I'm not sure how I like these lands. They're interesting. I thought about buying them, but they're not, I don't think they're my cup of tea. All right. So they're playing some sort of hand some sort of hand hate deck. Okay, they got rid of our Narset, which isn't that bad. Let's go take a look at their hand now. Since they did it to us. They would make us discard a card, make us discard a card, kill a creature. We'll get rid of this because that can get actually very annoying. We don't need land, so we'll get rid of that. So, might as well, if they can look at my hand, I can look at their hand. They're probably more than likely, yep, playing this. I'm gonna get rid of a land. Because why not? This is actually really good. Oh, I don't have an... Wait, what? Oh, it's 5. The play... What's the play here? They have a Murderous Rider. They can Murderous Rider this, and they don't play another one. I think I tried to get them to not hand hate here. I think that's the play. If they go for the hand hate, then they go for the hand hate. Because they can't play both. They can play both of those though, which is not a big deal. We'll get rid of the Ashiok. I have faith in my deck. It's fine. I have faith I'm gonna draw something. They're not gonna attack, of course. Let's not play this yet. Let's go to combat. Let's attack. Let's gain the life. We'll play this for 2. And it'll give me enough. It'll help me. I can now scry and get my answer. If I was them, I probably would. That's fine. He's probably gonna make us discard. He's gonna make us exile. He's gonna make us sacrifice a creature, I guess. He's not gonna make us discard a card. It's not like we have a card. All right, so he's gonna discard that. It's fine. We will scry. I think this does the most immediately. But it's just gonna get killed. That draws us 2 cards, but then we can't play anything, so we're just gonna... It's not the position that we're in. I think we do this and we just kind of go with it. I think we keep the draw card. Let's play this. That's not gonna help us because they can just attack above us. So let's bounce this back. Let's make them play it again. Make them discard. What did they discard? Alright, they discard Tamaret. That's perfectly fine. They're gonna kill this tier. I don't think they're gonna choose an effect. Unless they want to draw a card. Thank you. This actually worked out in our favor. Wait, what? Oh, they didn't make us do anything. But they're pretty much playing a mono black devotion. So we got dealt a bad hand there. They pretty much had 3 of their discard cards, but overall, I don't think there was any other way we could have gotten out of it. I guess I thought they made us draw a card, and I was like, I guess I played the draw 2 on my turn, thinking that it was the end of their turn. So that was my bad. I didn't realize what game state we're in. So I think we'll play one more and go from there. Hopefully it doesn't take us too long. As much as I would love to post a 50-minute video, you know, sometimes a 50-minute video is a little too long for you guys to watch. This hand's okay. I mean, we have some high-end stuff. Opponent goes first. We can scry, or we play this. We'll keep the 7. They're playing mono red, of course. Not the hand we want to have for mono red, of course. Let's play this tapped. Say go. if we can stall to where we're at. Are they playing the 1-drop version? I think. A shock? Draw 2 cards? Okay, no, they didn't get that. I'm gonna play this to gain that life back. I think that's the play here. Let's just stall it like 1 more turn. We'll gain a life back, so we're at 18. So it's as if like nothing happened. If we get to turn 5, this could actually become a big threat. I could also play... Okay. What do they have? That's the question. Do they have something to make this bigger, or is it going to only be a 1-pinger? That's the big question we have here. I think the play is to play this. Let's slot erasure them. See if we can get rid of a burn card in their hand. Yeah, so they have a card to burn us, but Cavalcade would do more damage, so we'll get rid of that. Narset won't help us here. We need to get the card that's going to pretty much wipe their board out. So they're definitely going to get some damage in next turn. I can play this next. That's fine. That's only for 6 damage. All right, that puts us at 9. Flying Death Touch. If I only had enough to get to next, if something had lifelink, because this only has Flying and Death Touch and Hexproof. It doesn't have lifelink, so this 2 is gonna get through regardless. And they could have a burn spell in their hand. If we could have gotten to this turn, that could have saved us. But this is like the one time where I kept a hand that was a little bit later game, and I needed an early game hand. But yeah, I mean, we tried our best to make our hand work against the red deck. It's not our favorable matchup, to be quite honest, especially with like main board. I mean, that's the one thing with red decks, is that like usually when it comes to end game, like when it comes to like getting to the end game, it's like the sideboard is what is going to get you there. So like that's where you play the situational cards that you typically wouldn't play. I don't think I built a sideboard, but overall the deck, I mean, isn't that bad. We got paired up against some people who had some really good stuff off the bat. But overall, I mean, the deck isn't that bad. Like I said, it's about 50%. I think we went a little bit better there. I mean, because 2 people gave up immediately because their hand got pretty much hated on their hand, and they were like, I'm not dealing with this. So I mean, overall, we went 3-2. The last 2 games were a little bit rougher. But overall, I think the deck is good. It may be a little tweak, little tweak, there, a little here. When it works, it works. When you get to that late game state for your opponent then gets put in that position where they have to play from behind and they have a small hand. But overall, the deck is good. If you like these videos, guys, let me know by hitting that like button. If you have any questions about like any of the decks I do, leave a comment. I'll try my best to answer them. If you want to know when these videos go live, hit that subscribe button. I will catch you in the next video. Bye-bye.